everybody, this is Mr. Second Passport. Today I'm going to cover one of the, if not the biggest mistakes I've seen expats make when they move to Latin America, or in this case specifically Ecuador. And that is they sell everything up north before they come down to Latin America. Big mistake. No, there's two ways to basically make money from real estate, right? Appreciation and renting, cash flow, right, of the property. Appreciation is far better in North America than here in Ecuador, right? Prices here are just kind of flat for years and years at a time, and the market's not very liquid. It can take you very long time to sell sometimes, and there's no established true MLS market, so it can be a lot harder to market a property. And if you sink your money into a property down here, it could stay in it for a long period of time. And rents are so cheap. Why not just rent? And in 95% of the cases, right? Now, in the 5% that I try to cover on this channel, where you can find a super deal down here, that's how you make money in Ecuador property, is buying significantly below value and selling for market value. That's pretty much the only way, because you can't really count on the market doing anything for you down here. And secondly, right, renting is besides being able to charge a lot less than in North America, a lot less, the laws here favor the renter, right? Or the tenant. So if you have any problems charging someone, or they stop paying and you have to evict them, it's a huge hassle down here. I know several rich Ecuadorians down here who make their money other ways, which is how Ecuadorians do it, and just refuse to rent their properties. They'd rather just keep them vacant, and it's a store of wealth for them, because renting is such a pain in the butt down here. And the laws don't favor you as an owner. So if you kept that property up north, if you don't want to rent it like through a property manager, which is the easiest way to continue to make cash flow from it, what you could do is Airbnb it, like I do with 2 properties currently in the US from living here in Ecuador. All you need are 2 things, right? You need a reliable cleaner, which is not that easy to find, but once you find one, just pay them well and keep them. And a handyman on call that you can call when needed. Both of which you don't need to hire full-time or anything. You just call them up when you need them, and you pay them for the day or for the job that they do. And that's all you need, and you can keep your property, and you can block off dates, and you'll have somewhere to go when you go back to visit the US, right? So, and make a significant amount more. Now, what if you said, well, you could renting long-term in Ecuador, not a good idea. Buying for appreciation, also not a good idea. But what about buying to rent short-term, like through Airbnb? Also not a great idea here in Ecuador compared to North America, because I see firsthand, right, the occupation in North America, I've studied this, right, through sites like AirDNA, tend to be around 60 to 80%. The occupation down here in Ecuador is roughly half that. We're talking 30, 40, 20, 30, 40%. And on top of that, down here in Ecuador, you can charge about 1/8 maybe of what you could in North America for a similar property in an urban area. So, I mean, yes, your costs down here are much less, but at 1/16 the revenue, that's a huge difference of taking that same money, leaving it in the States, or investing it down here in a property in Ecuador. So for me, that's the biggest mistake expats make if they're looking for financial freedom, an extra income stream, and that is sell their property up north to move down south. Big mistake, and then they buy a property down here. Even bigger mistake, and here's that second reason I was going to mention why you should not buy when you first come to Ecuador. Because 90% of the expats I meet, at least, move at least once they've moved to Ecuador, right? Maybe to a different neighborhood, or to a different city, or from the coast to the highlands, or highlands to the coast, maybe even to the Amazon region. But that's just what happens. And if you buy, you're stuck. because like I mentioned before, the market here is just not that liquid, right? To just be able to sell as quickly as you could in the U.S. Having a property in the U.S. is almost like having cash. It's pretty similar, right? Now, will the market continue to do what it's done over the last few years? Maybe not. Anyone who sold property in the U.S. or Canada 2-3 years ago is probably regretting it now, right? But who's to say that that can't keep happening, right? Because a couple years ago, the market felt high as well. So who's to say it can't keep going up? And chances are it probably will compared to Ecuador real estate. I'm Mr. Second Passport. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button below. Take care.